Kia ora everybody. Well, this time of the year, I always do my top 10 films of the year. I've been thinking about it and realized that I've seen just as much fantastic TV shows. And so I thought, why not do my top 10 TV shows of 2015? And picking the top 10 TV shows of this year, I had to leave a lot of great shows off the list. And so some honorable mentions include Veep, Ash vs. Evil Dead, Mr. Robot, Narcos, Jessica Jones, Fear the Walking Dead, Homeland, Daredevil, Funny Girls, Agent Carter, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, and Saturday Night Live. So that's just a few of the shows that I watched this year, which I can't really include in my top 10 list because then it would just be too big. But anyways, here we go. Number 10 is Mad Men. So I was really happy with how they wrapped up the show, and overall the show ended really well. Number 9 is Girls. This New York comedy was a crack up this year. It's into season 4. I really enjoyed some of the laugh out loud moments, including a piercing scene where one of the characters convinces another character to get a piercing. Also the home birth scene where we see one of the characters convinced that she wants a home birth, and halfway through things get a little bit messy. Number 8 is The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Now this is another New York set show, and it's quite a nice antidote to Girls because Girls can be quite full on, and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt has a lot of heart. Number 7 is Parks and Recreation. So the final season of Parks and Recreation, season 7, and they set it 2 or 3 years in the future, which was quite a fun way to end this comedy. And it was a great way of tying up all of the loose ends from the previous seasons while also having a lot of fun in the final 13 episodes. Number 6 is Sense8. It's made by the creators of The Matrix. Sense8 is their TV show where 8 people around the world one day are able to communicate telepathically. They're able to use each other's skills. One of my favorite moments is seeing one of the characters who's a martial arts fighter jump into the body of someone who's in trouble with gangsters and just kind of beat the crap out of all these people. A lot of fun, worth a watch. Number 5 is Game of Thrones. Now, for a long time, this year, when I've been thinking about kind of my top 10 shows, Game of Thrones keeps on dropping off the list. And not because I don't love it, because I do, but because there were a couple of moments this year which really annoyed me, and I haven't enjoyed it as much as I have other years. The things that annoyed me were burning a child alive. I mean, that was just one of the most horrific things I've seen, and I don't feel they handled it in the best way. They made that child character too likable. I also felt the Dawn story was really poor, and the end of the series, what happened at the end of the series, really annoys me. If you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. The final event of the season. However, I really enjoyed the Cersei storyline this season, and I really enjoyed the episode Hard Home, which was probably one of the best, if not the best episode of all of Game of Thrones, where Jon Snow and his clan are fighting a whole lot of White Walkers. That was a really strong episode. Very impressive. Number 4 is House of Cards. This season, a lot of people took issue with the fact that the characters had to take a bit of a back seat in terms of their murderous sides. They have to hold it back because they are now in public office, so they have to be a lot more reserved with the way that they manipulate people. Having said that, it was a really strong season, seeing their marital issues played out symbolically on a very public stage. Really strong show, House of Cards. Number 3 is The Walking Dead. There was an episode at the end of season 5 when they all got stuck in a barn. A whole lot of characters got stuck in a barn in a storm, and that was a really well-constructed episode. I also love the character of Carol, and whenever she gets a chance to be ruthless, it's incredibly satisfying. Number 2 is The Leftovers. The first season was very bumpy. This second season has been phenomenal. Every episode has been just thrilling to watch. Each episode focuses on a different character. It's their own point of view. And so what you get is characters that have sort of been in the background or barely been in the show. You'll start watching one week and they will get a whole episode to themselves. And my number 1 TV show of 2015 is the second season of Fargo. It's a tour de force of a show. It's set in the 1970s, 1979. You've got fantastic performances from Kirsten Dunst, Patrick Wilson, Ted Danson. It's funny, it's heart-wrenching, it's really well paced, it's got a lot of spark about it. And if you love the Coen brothers, who created the original film and then have produced the show, then you're going to love this. It's got that same black sense of humour. So there you go, my top 10 TV shows of 2015. Check back again next week when I'll cover my top 10 films of 2015. And until next time, ka kite anō.